The Russian Air Force has recently conducted testing of a new hypersonic missile. The launch platform was a modified version of the Tu-22M3 aircraft. As per Russian state media, the work on the new missile began several years ago, and its testing was completed in parallel with the work on the upgraded bomber. A person with knowledge about this matter in Russia's military-industrial complex told TASS, recently a new hypersonic missile was tested on the Tu-22M3. The missile will be part of the armament range of the upgraded Tu-22M3M, along with a number of other latest aviation weapons. The source added that the missile is not part of the line of X-32 missiles, but did not provide the characteristics of it, except to confirm that it is completely different. Viewers may note that KH-32 supersonic missile, which is part of the X-32 missile family, currently arm the Tu-22M3M bombers. The People's Liberation Army is in the final phase of planning a training exercise in the South China Sea. The exercise is designed to simulate an assault and takeover of Taiwanese island chains. Reports indicate that the exercise will be conducted by the Southern Theater Command. It's expected to include helicopters, marines, hovercrafts, and assault vessels. It seems that the idea is to fine-tune a strategy to take over the Dongsha Islands, which is also part of the Pratas Islands. Dongsha Islands is a Taiwanese national park of around 353,668 acres and is strategically positioned. According to Taiwan News, Taiwanese forces are prepared in case Chinese start an onslaught and are on alert across Taiwan's territories, including the Dongsha Islands. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Japan's government has passed by far the nation's biggest defense budget since the end of World War II. The Japanese Diet, or Parliament, has approved a whopping $43.6 billion defense budget. Apart from the normal expenses, the budget of the year will be used for some key weapons like new hypersonic anti-ship missiles and helicopter carrier upgrades that will allow for the carrying of Lockheed Martin F-35B stealth fighters. Japan's focus is no longer North Korea, which was traditionally the case. The large spending is seen as a way to counter China, according to most analysts. In 2015, Vice News had tracked one Russian soldier, identified as Bato Dambev, as his unit pushed through Ukraine. The investigative report pinpointed Russian movement by using selfies, group photos, and other social media posts. This was an embarrassment since Russia officially claimed that its troops were not operating there. To prevent such leaks in the future, the Russian military has now banned devices that can transmit location data, photos, videos, and audio. A similar law bans devices that can connect to the internet. Radio Free Europe reported, "The violation of the regulation will be considered a gross disciplinary offense." The People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN, has stepped up its operations at a base in Africa. This is indicated by evidence corroborated from satellite imagery. The images show a major increase in activity and construction in Djibouti. Viewers may note that the base was opened in 2017 and is under construction. One pier, about 1,120 feet long, was finished late last year. It matches the length requirements for the Liaoning aircraft carrier. Open Source Intelligence (OSINT) analyst Detresfa released the images on Twitter earlier over the weekend. The analyst stated, "The naval docking project, nearing completion, extended 400+ meters from the causeway. The pier sits in deep waters, capable of docking most of the PLAN inventory. China is looking to have military patrol presence in waters as far off as the Gulf of Aden, and this is seen as an attempt to project far beyond Asian waters." U.S. Navy P88 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft flew a route close to China's Hainan Island in the South China Sea. It's home to a major People's Liberation Army Navy base. The important point to be noted is that the particular aircraft is one of a small subset of the service's Poseidon fleet that has AN/APS-154 Advanced Airborne Sensor installed. The capabilities of the advanced sensor are unknown. Reports indicate that the plane came within 30 miles of the southern coast of the island and conducted passes close to the huge Yulin naval base. The P-8 Poseidon is developed by Boeing and is modified from the 737-800 ERX. It's capable of anti-submarine warfare (ASW), anti-surface warfare (ASUW), and shipping interdiction. It also has early warning self-protection (EWSP) ability. It has a combat radius of 1,200 nautical miles or 2,222 kilometers that enables it to cover large swaths of ocean. The Indian Army is deliberating on a proposal to attract young working professionals to join the force. The idea is to enable them to work on 3-year tenure as officers and in other ranks for a variety of roles. The Tour of Duty (TOD) is being mulled in the wake of resurgence of nationalism and patriotism in the country. The proposal is slated to be an attempt to tap the feeling of the youths who do not want to join the Army as a profession but wish to experience military life for a temporary duration. Reports indicated that the game-changing proposal is being examined by top commanders of the Army. Spokesperson of the Army, Colonel Aman Anand, was quoted as saying by the PTI, "If approved, it will be a voluntary engagement and there will be no dilution in selection criteria. Initially, 100 officers and 1,000 men are being considered for recruitment as part of test bedding of the project." Currently, the Indian Army recruits young people under short service commission for an initial tenure of 10 years, which is extendable up to 14 years. Under the new proposal, people to be recruited under the TOD for 3 years, however, will be eligible to be deployed as combatants in key forward locations, and there will be no restrictions in their roles. Unveiling the flag for his new Space Force in the Oval Office, Donald Trump said the U.S. is developing a super-duper missile to edge out military rivals, including Russia and China. President Trump said, "We have no choice. We have to do it with the adversaries we have out there. We have, I call it the super-duper missile, and I heard the other night it's 17 times faster than what they have right now." Mark Esper, who was also present, stated, "That's right." Trump said, "You take the fastest missile we have now. You heard Russia has 5 times and China working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times, and it's just got the go-ahead." It's important to note that the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, has said Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle can travel up to 20 times the speed of sound, like a meteorite or a fireball.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.